So, as I say, the next match on court is men's doubles. Repeat of the World Championship final from last year, Wembley Arena, which of course is where the Olympics later this year will be taking place. Number 1 seeds Cai Yun and Haifeng up against Ko Sung Hyun and Yoo Yeon Seong. Number 4 seeds from Korea.
Following court number 1, men's doubles final between Cai Yun, Haifeng, China versus Ko Sung Hyun, Yoo Yeon Seong, Korea. Umpire at Toronto, Indonesia. Service judge, Toyota, Japan. And the team of line judges are A.
So the court officials have made their way onto court. We await the arrival of the players. Of course, Cai Yun and Haifeng, former winners of the Career Open title, having been in 2 previous finals. They were beaten finalists 2 years ago, 2010, but winners back in 2008. And here are the former champions, led out by the left-hander Haifeng, younger of the 2 men. Just turned 28, Haifeng, celebrated his birthday just before the start of the Korean Open. So to Ko Sung Hyun and Yoo Yeon Seong. Number 4 seeds. Oh, getting a bit of a talking to. Perhaps her 2-game victory in her singles semi-final. Not up to the performance that the coaches wanted. I'm sure, in all seriousness, they're very happy with her indeed. I thought she played very well indeed. But I know you coaches, Ian, you're always looking for improvements. You're never satisfied with players, and that's how players improve. That's how the game progresses. My goodness, the game has progressed since our day, hasn't it? Much faster, much more dynamic, and of course that's helped by the change in the scoring system.
Yes, it is, of course, but coming back to your point about the coaching there, I think it's perfectly normal that the coach will still make points. Even you don't want players to become results orientated. You know, it's not necessarily that you played well because you win or you play badly because you lose. You can play very well and lose, and you can play very badly and win. So there's always something to learn, there's always something to be said, I think.
Yes, indeed, I concur with that. So to the number 1 seeds, number 1 in the world rankings, 4 times world champions. Haifeng, as I say, just turned 28 on the 2nd of January. From Jeoyang in Guangdong province, his partner. 31, but he'll be turning 32 come the 19th of this month. 53 and 9. Their win-loss record for last year, 9 finals from 13 tournaments played. 6 titles. Well, you were saying that they struggled against the Thailand pair. And we should mention that that Thailand pair were, in fact, qualifiers, Isara and Jongjit. The Thailand pair took that opening game. Saved a match point, did the world champions in that deciding game against Thailand pair. Slightly more convincing quarter-final against Fuchs and Roth of Germany yesterday. Now to the number 4 seeds and number 4 pair in the world. They too have a pretty good win-loss record for last year. 6 finals, 3 titles. The titles being Grand Prix events, Swiss, Chinese Taipei and Korea. And in all 3 of those finals, they beat their teammates, Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae. Well, they were semi-finalists last year, were the Koreans. Lost out to the number 1 seeds, Matthias Bo and Carsten Mogensen, who having won the Super Series finals in Luzhou at the end of last year, just 3 weeks ago, surprisingly lost in the second round to Chinese opposition Hong Wei and Shen Ye in 2 straight games here in Seoul. So disappointment for the Danes in that men's doubles. But this is the 8th meeting between these 2 pairs, and I think probably that last meeting the most significant, because it's the only one that Ko Sung Hyun and Yoo Yeon Seong have won, and that was in the group stage of those Super Series finals in Luzhou. Eddie Rufianto of Indonesia and our service judge from Japan. Of course, when they met in the World Championship final last year, won obviously by the Chinese. 24-22, 21-16. So the world champions, far side of the court, the left-right combination. And there's no doubting once again where the support is going to lie with the home players. And we thought that would make a difference in our previous semi-final women's singles, but didn't transpire because basically Bae-young-ju didn't give the crowd or give the crowd enough to get involved with. I think we'll see a little bit of a difference here in this one, though. Interesting that 6 of those previous 7 meetings, Ian, were all last year. And you and I were at the Super Series finals in Luzhou. Was there something, in your opinion, that the Koreans did very differently to record their first ever victory against the world champions?
I think the conditions suited them a little bit. It was quite a slow hall. It was quite cool in the hall, and it negates a little bit the Chinese all-out aggressive game. And I think we may see something similar here. I mean, the Chinese have started very much on the attack. That's the way they like to play. But this hall has proved very, very difficult for the attacking players to get through. So this will be very interesting to see how the tactics roll out in this one.
Goodness me, 287 already. That is the fastest smash of the tournament so far. Oh, he's pushed it wide. Well,
I think it signals the intent of the Chinese pair that they're not going to sit back just because the hall's slow. They're going to try and enforce their attacking style on this game. It's going to be really interesting.
oh, that's clever. Good change of pace.
Something we saw a lot of in Guangzhou, isn't it? It was Yoo going forward and trying to take responsibility on the net. And there again, he's rotating in. Good choice.
Very strong athlete. Seems to be wearing a t-shirt under his proper shirt there. Ko Sung Hyun. Actually, in the hall, I mean, I think it's a fairly nice temperature at the moment, whereas in Luzhou it really was very chilly indeed.
Yeah, I think the aircon's placed at the top of this stadium though, and players are telling me it's actually not that warm on the arena floor. We're getting the benefit of the heating up here.
Totally missed time there. It's gone wide. Well, that's it with the women's singles. I know it's very early stages, but the Koreans really haven't given the crowd anything to cheer about.
No, it's been quite a passive start, hasn't it? Chinese able to take the attack very regularly. Yeah, Koreans just on the defence a little bit too much, aren't they? Giving the Chinese opponents too many attacking opportunities. And we all know how dangerous they are on the attack.
Yes, especially in that formation. Fu Haifeng, another very, very powerful smash. And Cai Yun still so sharp at the net. Not only speed of foot, but also speed of thought. Reads the game so well. Well, 5 straight points.
Well, they look very sharp here, don't they?
Yeah, incredible.
Really trying to impose their game early on. Very concentrated on serve and return, creating the attacking opportunities. And again.
Well, 6 straight points. From 5-3 to 11-3. And certainly so far, it's been total domination, really, by the world champions.
Oh yeah, it's been too easy for Cai Yun to get into the net, create the opportunities for his partner. And they've been very, very effective.
Just 5 minutes. It's extraordinary.
I think the Koreans have been taken by surprise by this all-out attacking style that the Chinese have started the game with. All week, pairs have been trying to measure the attack because the matches have been going very long and they've been trying to pace themselves, mix up the attack, but not in this game. Chinese have gone off really quickly. As you say, we've already seen the hardest smash of the week.
Obviously the Korean coaches have said, look, you've got to get yourselves on the attack, because that was quite clear in that first rally.
Yeah, it was better you taking responsibility, moving in, getting the lift for his partner. Ko just making the mistake there. We're disappointed with that one.
Oh, it's brilliant. Good placement of the smash from Ko Sung Hyun. My goodness, they needed that, didn't they?
They did. It's good defence here, though, using good width. Eventually, Haifeng forced to play the clear. Ko very quickly onto it. Well, the rallies are starting to get a little bit longer, but it's still the Chinese who are creating the most attacking opportunities. Yeah, beaten by the angle there.
Cai Yun, Chinese coach, two-time Olympic mixed doubles champion.
Same again. Koreans being forced off the net into defensive positions. Yeah, we can see that coach asking them to get up the court, compete for the attack on the forecourt. That's a great return from Cai Yun. It was a good serve, but he drives forward with the legs, just pushes the shuttle back onto the tape and gets the net cord. Impossible for the server to deal with.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think they know this game's gone. But if I was coaching them, I'd be wanting them to keep their concentration, try and find some rhythm for the start of the second game. It's better. Nice combination play. Good teamwork. Here Yoo going in, creating the attacking opportunity for his partner. And good rotation.
Yeah. Why on earth weren't they doing that from the start?
Yeah, again, good forecourt play, nice rotational play. Yoo attacks from one side, Ko steps up on the opposite side and wins the point. Two players very high in the court, and that's what they need to be doing.
Wow. Well, that was a powerful smash.
Oh, it went down very quickly, didn't it? Yeah.
Certainly did.
Yeah, not known for his big hitting. Normally it's his partner who provides the power. That was good.
267.
Better return.
Just long. Yeah, it's all hotting up now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much more competitive around the forecourt, isn't it? Cai Yun desperately trying to get the attack there, but you can see the Korean staying higher up the court, giving him less space and less time to play.
Oh, yeah, Yes. Well, now the crowd getting more and more involved, and even the cheerleaders are jumping up and down in excitement. Yeah, served too quickly. Fu Haifeng not ready.
Dangerous to hit it back though.
Yeah.
Could be deemed a fault.
Nine game points. Well, the Koreans doing exactly what you suggested, which was they needed to find a rhythm prior to the second game.
Yeah, you can see they're using the drive to take Cai Yun off that net position, driving him off the net. That allows them time to get in and get the net position for themselves. Much better play.
Third time lucky. Converts on their third game points. 21-13, the margin. And the world champions certainly started that opening game in a very, very dynamic, aggressive style. Just 21-13 in 16 minutes of play. So the players get ready to return to court for the start of this second game. But Ian, I can't help but wonder, that was a run in those early stages of 8 straight points by the Chinese pair, from 5-3 to 13-3. And of course there was 8 points in it in the end, and it was that little run that really made the difference in the opening game.
Absolutely, and how many times have we seen that on Cai Yun's serve?
Yep.
One of the great servers in world badminton, and so quick behind his service to intercept the third shot as well. But the Koreans should know that. You know, I just felt they were caught a little bit with a slow start there. And as you say, the decisive break in that game was made very early on. And they certainly can't afford to start slowly in this second game.
No. Well, I'm sure they'll have been told that by their coaches. All very well in theory, it's what you can implement in practice. Oh my goodness, well, just to emphasise your point, a good serve.
And that one he does to the centre, the Koreans aren't happy with it. Actually, that one's legal because he actually drops the racket to create the straight angle. When he goes wide, sometimes he gets called with the wide flick serve, but not that little one he does up the middle.
주심은 한국의 최재 공씨, 부심은 한국의 강천영 씨, 선심은 비주입니다.
Following in court number 2, women's singles match number 29 between Wang Yihan, China versus Jiang.
Good drive defence.
Yeah, managing to get past Cai Yun at the net, not giving Cai Yun the opportunity to intercept. You see, it's just too quick for him. Haifeng, no time to get organised in the rear court. Certainly looks though the Koreans want to go to a drive game, doesn't it?
중국의 왕이한 선수 입장.
Well, he's providing some penetration from the rear court today, isn't he? Consistently up around that 175, 180, 280.
지안한자오 선수 입장.
Which is consistently 170 miles per hour.
Yep. That's good hitting.
Yeah.
Again, it's drive defence from the Koreans, working more aggressive in defence, aren't they? Start of this second game, trying to step up the court. Well, that's a clever rally from Cai Yun there, setting the play up for his partner and then finishing the point himself from the forecourt. World-class doubles.
Will they go down as one of the all-time great pairs? Because, I mean, 4 World Championship titles. Of course, in the past, the World Championships in badminton used to be a biannual event every other year. Now, it's every year apart from the Olympic year, but they are missing that Olympic gold medal, silver medalists in Beijing. But they've still been a great pair, haven't they?
They've been fantastic, but I think in badminton, because Olympics is the pinnacle of our sport now, if you don't win the Olympics, I don't think you can be considered great. Personally, that's a personal opinion. I think you've got
that's
to win
very
that.
harsh.
No, but I mean that's the highest.
Yeah.
That's the highest honour in our game, to win an Olympic gold medal now.
Yeah.
Badminton is an Olympic sport, and if you don't win that, I think you know, you're missing something.
Unbelievable. Terrific rally.
Well, that's what we've been seeing all week in the men's doubles, isn't it? Really difficult to get through in attack. Great defence from the Korean pair. But the effort Haifeng's putting into those smashes. Coming back to your previous point, Jill, you know, how many people remember the Super Series titles and the sort of major titles that Kim Dong-moon won? What's he remembered for? He's remembered for Olympics.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and that's...
Yeah, I think we're really in agreement in that there's no doubt the pinnacle achievement in badminton is the Olympic gold medal, but I'm a great believer that you can still be a great player even if you haven't won the Olympic Games. You know, I'm old enough, perhaps it's my age that's the stumbling block here. I'm old enough to remember great badminton players before there was Olympic Games, and you know, I was fortunate enough to compete in the first ever Olympics in Barcelona in 1992. So perhaps my mindset of being brought up without that allure of the Olympic gold medal, 281 is, you know, consistently, it's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I suppose it all depends on the definition of great, really. But
I mean, we're both old enough to remember pre-Olympics. That's fine. I'll own up to that as well. But also, we can both remember when we were growing up, pre-World Championships as well. But the measure at that time was the All England.
yes,
And great players were the ones that won All Englands and won multiple All England titles. But now I think it's moved on, and I think, you know, what makes the Olympics so special is you get one chance every 4 years.
yeah,
And that's pressure. That's real
Yeah.
pressure. World Championships every year now, apart from the Olympic year. You get another chance in 12 months' time. Olympics, that's real pressure. One chance in 4 years. And the great players will step up and take those opportunities. Great return. It was a good serve. He had to take it from below net height, but managed to push it back onto the tape and get the net cord.
oh, service fault called. Racket not facing in a downward direction.
No, we've seen that a lot this year, haven't we? They're questioning it, but it's been a regular occurrence this year with that particular service. Does just lift the left hand before he strikes the flick serve, and that means he brings the racket up too high. Looks as though Haifeng had a good breakfast, doesn't it?
Yeah,
No sign of his power diminishing. Look at that. Puts everything into every smash, doesn't he?
he does hold the record as the fastest ever smash in competition play. 332 kilometres now, that's 206 miles per hour. And it's interesting, Ian, that, I mean, we've been here all week, and every day the smash speeds have increased. Players hitting harder and harder all the time.
Yeah, I think part of that is that the players do become accustomed to the conditions. The timing gets better. And also, you know, as we're seeing today, more people in the hall. Maybe the hall's just warmed up a little bit.
Yep.
It'll give a little bit of extra pace to the shuttle, maybe.
That's a marvellous drop shot from Haifeng.
Great variety. He's
Yeah.
got the power, but and that forces his opponents to defend deep, and that creates some space for those little cut shots.
Clever. It was all getting very fast and furious. Nice little touch there between the two players. Maybe fierce competition and a great respect for each other.
No lack of effort.
He thumped that one down as well, didn't he?
He did, but he maintains the angle, doesn't he? That's what he does so well. A lot of players can hit hard. The key is to hit hard and keep the shuttle going down as steeply as you possibly can. Force your opponents to hit up, defending an upward direction, and that's what happened there. Lost control in defence. Out the back of the court. This is just good placement, hits across the defensive position.
Well, they have the advantage at the mid-game interval, but I have to say it's been a much better first half to this second game than the first game. Much more competitive.
There was a real competition to get control of the front court, create the attacking opportunities. Koreans using a lot more drive defense, trying to step up the court, be more aggressive in defense. The Chinese continuing to fight hard to get the attack, and when they've got it, Fu Haifeng is hitting really hard today.
Yeah. Very surprised how little time the world champions spent with their coach there, though.
Well, they know the game pretty well, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they know what they need to be doing here. Again, great net play.
Oh! Well, had to play one more shot than I suspected he'd have to.
He was ready though, look how alert he is here. He's off balance, but look how quickly he gets back up. That's great reactions.
Yeah. There's not many players would have defended as well as you in that. It's slightly concerning, Ian, that they were so deep in their defensive stance, the Koreans there.
Yeah, being forced back. That's what they've got to try and avoid.
Oh, how good is that?
Well, I've just been thinking, Jill, the last 3 or 4 tournaments, Fu Haifeng's not been smashing as much as this. Look at that, 280.
Yet again, in the 280s.
But, you know, he's been mixing it up a lot more recently, hasn't he? Using a lot more clip smashes, drop shots, and using the smash almost as a shock attack. But here it's almost brute force in this match.
Yeah.
Really keeping the pressure on his opponents. See what the Koreans were trying to do there, step up the court, just forcing the shuttle out of the rear.
Six of the last 7 points, Chinese. Oh, it's missed it. Well, I was slightly concerned, Ian, in the middle of that rally, because I think that Cai Yun stepped on the carpet and I think that his foot slipped from him. I think we'll need some running repairs to the carpets around of the court.
There's another great rally. Flat out attack from the Chinese, this time the Koreans surviving.
2-8-9 in that rally.
But it was survival. And although the Chinese made the mistake at the end, I do feel the Koreans are not going to be able to win if they defend as much as that.
No. Well, I've just been informed by our colleague that in the middle of that rally, Fu Haifeng hit a smash at 289. That he's increased his record. Very nearly 180 miles per hour.
But it's really marked today, isn't it, Jill?
Yeah.
How much he is smashing.
Yep.
I mean, he's not letting the pressure off at all. And as I say, he's been using a lot more variety in his rear court play in recent tournaments. But today, no, he's flat out.
Seeing it, but I can tell you the body language of Ko Sung Hyun after that rally was very concerning indeed, looking very dispirited. Clever. And I guess, Ian, this is why, one of the reasons why Cai Yun and Fu Haifeng are such a successful pair, because you have got the brute power of Fu Haifeng from the back of the court, and yet Cai Yun at the front has such variation.
Well, that rally was a great example. The little skirmish at the start of the rally, he was so competitive, and eventually he gets control of the net and forces the lift for his partner. He's a great net player. When they do get into that formation, they create such pressure on their opponents. Very difficult to break them up.
Just 2 points away now, current world champions, from appearing in their third Korea Open final. Gone wide. Yep. Six opportunities now to book their place in the final once again. First time of asking, and I have to say that was a very, very impressive performance by the world champions Cai Yun and Fu Haifeng. Winners of this title back in 2008, beaten finalists in 2010, and tomorrow they'll be in their third final here in Korea. There's confirmation of how they did it. 21-13, 21-14 in 38 minutes. Well, Ian, really very impressive indeed. What else can you say?
Don't think I've seen them play that well for a long time, actually. That was really impressive. As I say, last few months, Fu Haifeng's really not been as aggressive in the rear court. There's been more controlled play from him in the rear court. But in that game, he just went for everything. And that's when they're so exciting to watch.
So there you can see that 3 of our 5 semi-finals have been completed. 2 more to come. First of all, we've got the second mixed doubles semi-final, and it features the Danes Fischer, Nielsen and Peterson up against the All England champion Xu Chen and Ma Jin. And then of course men's singles will conclude this afternoon's play with Sho Sasaki, the number 6 seed, up against the number 2 seed, the defending champion Lin Dan of China. So plenty more to look forward to. Men's doubles, we know that now Cai Yun and Fu Haifeng will be in the final, but we don't yet know who they'll meet. It'll either be the number 2 seeds, Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae, or another Korean pairing of Kim Ki-jung and Kim Sang-ran. But our attention now reverts back to mixed doubles. It is the number 2 and 3 ranked pairs in the world in mixed doubles coming up on court next. But while we wait for the arrival of the players, let's just enjoy some of those very special moments of that men's doubles at the final rally. All in a day's work.